Watercooler. Watercooler. Watercooler.
Hello and welcome to Watercooler, episode number 276, or as we all know, 69 plus 69 plus 69 plus 69 for me!
Wow. We did it, fellas. Wow. My God. What a beautiful day this is.
They said it couldn't be done.
Did you smell that?
Smells like
469.
Sorry.
Yeah, don't think about that smell.
Good smell.
Well. All right, on with the show.
Did I ruin the moment?
No.
Thought we were excited.
You know, it's going to take a lot more than that to ruin the four-banger from me. So I want to thank everybody for listening this long. And we appreciate, you know how the show goes. All right, Chris Laxamana, kick it with my curl digital buds like Caelan Biehn.
What's going on?
Hey, Caelan, are you happy about the four-banger?
So happy.
Yeah, you look pretty excited.
Don't I seem happy?
Gary Smith. Yeah, Matt Fondiler's here.
Hey, four bangers.
And Mike Dawson.
My mustache says howdy.
Yes, it sure does. First off, I want to thank everybody. We had some Bobo Boys at the Jam in the Van show.
Wow.
So big thanks to...
You got barked at?
Yeah, oh, yeah. Got
I did not get barked at. Thank you.
Ouch.
They must have realized.
Well, there was also no way that they would have to pay up and buy me a beer because everyone got free Mangria, and I had a green room pass. So
Yeah.
You can't tell me when you were doing stand-up, people were applauding, people were hooting and hollering. Some people were barking.
There wasn't a ton of mingle action.
there wasn't a ton of laughter or anything in my direction. I think I would have recognized a bark. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, quietly just hear.
Right. that was in fact all I heard.
Just barking. But yeah, it was a very fun night. As Dawson said, it was a cool setup. Like they had just lawn chairs with Yeti coolers in front of them, and each cooler which is filled with Mangria and beers. The whole place is sponsored by Sierra Nevada, so all the weird Sierra Nevada beers. Like they had a Sierra Nevada sour.
That sounds good.
Did I also hear they
That's
gave
why
out...
I had some pale ales.
Yeah, and some pre-rolls.
Yeah, that's right.
Lots
They gave out
of pre-rolls.
Oh yeah,
And they were encouraging people to smoke it like while the show was going on?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Wow. That's something else.
yeah. It was.
I
super
smoked
cool.
5 joints while Adam Ray was up there and Adam Carolla.
I smoked 0, and I wondered where they all went.
No, there were other people. I only took 2 from the green room.
But anyway, yeah, it was a cool night. It was just kind of like it was fun too because Ryan was there, like Emmy, Haley, they all came out too, and like Ryan, I'm looking at Ryan's like I've never been around other people like in such a long time, just like a crowd. And there was I guess you could say there was an audience at least. There's definitely an audience, so it was kind of
There
cool.
were people that felt good.
To be fair, Ryan hasn't been allowed to be in front of people for decades, as far as I know.
Yeah, that's true.
This is still his earliest days.
He's still learning. Something weird happened to me on the way over to that show, though. So I guess it was weird. It was unusual. So I get there a little early because I'm going to help set up for the show, and of course the band was playing too. But I want to be there early for setup, and I'm around the corner. I'm like, oh, I got to get gas, and I think, should I get gas now, or should I get gas after the show? And just get there. I'm like, I have time. Let me just get it now. Get out of the way. There's nothing worse than being tired at the end of the night
Getting gas.
and then having to get. Remember getting gas, Gary?
I do remember.
Yeah.
So,
And like, yeah. Now I'm trying to figure out. Do I want to do it later? Now I'm like, I'll just do it now. Get out of the way now. It's daylight outside. I have energy.
you have to think about this. Ugh.
It's a thought.
I
It
know.
is an actual thought.
I
And
remember.
I don't like it, but it is a thought, and I think I'm going to get it now. So I pull up to the nearest gas station. Get out. Gas is like. It's pretty expensive right now. It's like it was like $4.60, which is I guess it's expensive everywhere. Like all of our listeners it's probably cheaper wherever they are. And I'm about to pump the gas, and I just hear, "Excuse me."
Uh-oh.
Yeah. See, this is why.
Uh-huh.
And I go and I look over, and there's a young woman looks my age. And she's like, "Can you help me with something?" And I said, "Sure."
Let me see the watch.
There's the mistake.
No.
Let me see the ring.
I'm not getting scammed. I don't think I'm getting scammed. She's not asking me for money. But she just goes, I'm from Portland, and I have never pumped gas in my life. I have no idea how to pump gas. can you help me? And I'm like,
What does being from Portland have to do with?
In Oregon, you're not allowed to pump your own gas. It's all full service.
Really?
Yeah, that's the law.
yeah. So if you go to Portland,
Why?
Caelan, I don't know why. I think
Like, it's against the law to
it
pump
is.
your own gas.
Yeah, they have gas station attendants who.
It's the union. It's big gas station attendants.
Yeah,
That
so
makes sense.
They run
Okay.
the show.
yeah, don't
It's
you
just
dare try pumping your own gas in Oregon.
I heard it's because there's so many skinny hipsters they can't lift the gas pumps. You know,
They have to sit through an
Could be
8-minute
that too.
training
Very-
session.
yeah, it's all the skinny hipsters. All the attendants are just super buff. Yeah, so I had to teach somebody how to pump gas.
Wow.
wow.
Yeah, it was
this
like,
was
all right.
Did you go slow?
You put your cord in there, or you put your card in there. Take off the pump. All right, you want to select which one? Which one do you want? She's like, I want the 87. I'm like, all right, press 87. She presses 87.
Did
like,
you know what they meant?
Yeah, she did.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
Good.
you still pay for the gas. Like you still know what to
Yeah.
order. But like I had to teach her how to pump it, and then and I had to teach her like that little flap thing that if you put it down, you don't have to hold down the.
Now, did that blow her mind? Was she like, what the fuck have I been paying for all these years?
No, but the only thing I was worried about was because I was kind of in a hurry. Was I hope this flap thing isn't one of those faulty ones that just keeps delatching
Right,
every
right,
second,
right.
and then I'm trying to teach her something, and it's obviously not going to work because I've been getting a lot of those lately.
I have an important question. As you finished filling up the gas, did you do the little tip tap tap before you hung it back up on the hook, or did you just
You gotta
undo it and
tippy
hook
tap.
it right back on?
I didn't do the tip tap tap.
No.
I don't know. I don't have to teach her everything. I'm teaching her the basics. If I give her every little detail, she's not going to remember the basics.
To make up for it, he did give her a tutorial on how to use your windshield wipers.
Right. That's
Yeah.
good. We
How to
did
save money
conserve
on
those.
those.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause you
get
gotta-
more wipes out of
Yeah,
them.
don't you?
That's just helpful advice.
She
you know? definitely
asked the right person
Yeah.
how to pump gas.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we were off on our way, and I thought,
Wow.
wow, that was unusual. And I'm like, how did you make it this far to L.A. without having to get gas? So she must have just flown in. That must have been a rental or something. Because it was just you don't get that a lot out here.
That's unusual.
Now, while you were helping her, did anyone try to break into your car or take things from your car? Because that seemed like the perfect decoy.
You know, there was that. Remember one of the first
Your
real
car was
like
probably full of music gear too.
it was. It still is. No, I mean not to the second. Please don't open it. Remember when chain emails were a thing, and there was that one story about like the girl who went in to get gas, and the gas station said, "Stay in here. Don't go back in your car. I saw somebody go in there." And then called the cops, and it's like an urban legend.
Yeah, I've seen the film Urban Legends.
Did they
It's the
do
opening
that?
scene, buddy.
Are you serious?
Opening scene.
I had no idea.
If you want a Wikipedia to scare
Joshua
yourself.
Jackson is in that. I remember that.
Yeah.
And I remember Pop Rocks and Soda was an urban legend that they addressed
They
in that
also
movie.
cover that.
Yeah, but really, that was the opening scene. That's cool. But anyway, yeah, I still think about that every once in a while. I'll just I'll think, oh, someone could be sneaking in my car. How often do you guys
You're the helpful Honda man.
How often do you guys feel back just to make sure nobody's there, or you check your back seat when you leave?
I check my
wherever?
back seat every single time I get in the car to make sure I got my bag.
So it's just part
But,
of the routine.
But no serial
No,
killer.
I'm not
Paranoid
looking for
serial killer
killers.
checks.
Okay, well, you should do more serial killer checks, Doss. Aren't you worried?
The number
Yeah,
one cause of being
that's it.
killed by a serial killer is not doing serial killer checks.
Yeah, exactly.
That
That
is-
it just takes one time.
Well documented.
Just takes one time for someone to not do the check.
There's only like a 60% survival rate for those who
Right.
do find the
Odds are better.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I just anyway, I helped this girl fill her gas tank, and I thought
And
That was- that was a good deed.
then you killed her.
This,
Just
by
to
the
be a
way,
she
serial
didn't check
killer.
her back seat.
for all of our listeners out there who are currently driving, go ahead, take a look. Do it right now. Just do it. You know you want to.
Just feel for it. Oh my God!
What
They
if
felt
you
the
felt
person-
something?
serial killers in the backseat like these assholes. What are they?
Somebody just gets up in the back. You got me.
This guy, you just see the serial killer just curled up like it feels. He's like, "You've got to be fucking kidding me right now."
Are they really talking about this?
They're really good. They just get a hand on their thigh. Like,
Yep.
oh,
Well, you're welcome, driver.
yeah, you're very welcome. We save lives on this show.
I have said it before.
Have you?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, anyway, we do have a lot of show today. Caelan,
Yeah.
he has a flickin'.
I do.
Matt has a
can't wait.
Shay. And of course, we got some comments. You guys want to do it?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's start off with some comments.
It's time for listener comments.
All right, and once again, these are comments and clan mail that were posted on our Facebook page, Facebook. And if you want to join our Facebook group, it's actually a group. Just go to facebook.com/groups/Bobo Boy Army Worldwide LLC. Answer a few questions,
Nation.
and we might let you in.
The questions part is important.
The questions part is important. All right.
And the people who are through that incredible wall of ice understand that once you're in the safety, the serenity of our Facebook group, you'll be glad that you did it.
Yes.
You know, because
Just
we're
join us.
keeping the riffraff out.
Yeah, exactly.
This is a place with
It's
ridiculous
pure.
polls.
Where
And who else knows what?
What is Walter White's
That's my
meth
favorite
called?
strip club, Ridiculous Polls.
Yeah.
What's Walter
That's
White's
the play.
meth
That's
called?
the strip club you go to at noon.
Blue Magic?
No, that's
Blue-
from.
Blue.
Come on.
What am I thinking
Blue
of?
Sky?
You're thinking of the Denzel Washington movie,
Yeah.
American
yeah,
Gangster.
totally.
That's Blue Magic.
Yeah. I'm thinking of that.
Whatever
I
it
don't-
is.
I don't know if it has a
that-
name.
Imagine that purity, but of content.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Content.
Of content. That's what our Facebook group is. It's as
Yep.
if Walter White just made it in his RV.
It was a long
Fresh.
journey, but that was a perfect analogy.
Yes, thanks. By the way, Dawson sneezed twice, and I only said bless you after the first one. Do I owe him another bless you?
No, we're solid.
As a frequent sneezer,
Thank
I
you.
really prefer I only get the one.
Really?
Yeah.
Then you just feel like you're a hassle after that? Because Gary
Absolutely.
goes like 10.
Yeah, it makes me really uncomfortable when I get to the fourth one and it's clear that we're now on this journey together and I feel bad for you. I'm having this sneezing attack. Like, I don't know how long this is going to go on.
I never thought about that. You got situations where they're like, bless you, bless you,
Yeah.
bless you.
And
Bless
then
you.
you get to the third or fourth one, you're like, all right, this person's not going to stop until I do, and now it's more pressure on me.
I do.
I have to say both of us and stop sneezing.
Exactly.
Matt has a lot of sneeze attacks, too.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, we all kind of do, except Caelan. Caelan's the only one.
I don't know what to say here. I don't
Yeah.
sneeze a lot.
Caelan, comment on your
What's your
lack
problem,
of sneezing.
man? Is you good for sneezing?
Yeah, Dawson, before the show, he's like, all right, guys, I have a... What did he say, Gary?
He was like, guys, there's a chance that I'm going to get a phone call in the middle of this show. And if I feel like I want to deal with it right then I'm going to have to step out and deal with it. But I don't know if I'm going to want to deal with it right then, so I might just stay. I was in the other room. I was in the other room when this was said.
Yeah.
Grabbing a chair and setting up some stuff on the board. And by the time I came back in, I was like, Dawson, did you just say if we're talking about Blockbuster or being boring that you're going to step out and take this call, but if you're
basically-
having fun that you're going to stick?
Yeah, that's what it felt like. That was a weird declaration.
It was not delivered like that. I'm expecting a phone call from a mastering engineer. Right now, I've got 2 mastering engineers ready to mix my record or master my record, and it's very important which one I go with, and they're both awesome.
Do you have a bidding war?
No, they're coming in at the same price, same amount of time. One of them comes heavily praised for mixing Americana, mastering Americana and rock and roll and stuff. The other guy I got a personal relationship with who remastered all of Alan Parsons' stuff.
Sophie's Choice.
Wow, you
Yeah,
really
it's
did.
a
He's
tough
got
decision.
Grammys
Prettiest
and
girl at the
shit.
prom.
Yeah. Caelan, do you know what mastering is?
So
No, not really. It's just kind of like a vague.
Can you take a guess?
I just essentially have to talk to this guy and make sure, to get to that guess, I have to talk to this guy and make sure he can do everything the other company can do. And then I'm just going to go with
The personal relationship.
the Parsons guy, the personal relationship.
Understood.
Basically, it just makes your record like it's like the final
Sound better?
polish.
Makes it louder.
It's the final polish. It makes it sound nice and full. All right. Anyway, let's get to our comments. Nick Yanchis, he says, after all the talk, last night I finally watched The Last Blockbuster. Then then today at a secondhand store, I run into the Hammer for $2. thank you, Great Magnet. And then he says R.I.P. Ozzy.
Well,
Nice.
I just take it a step further because I was actually very jealous of this one. It's a Blockbuster exclusive edition of the hammer. So it has the Blockbuster logo on the disc and on the box.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's edited because Blockbuster was
That's a
notorious
great
for that
point.
shit.
Very good question.
They did?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they used to. Yeah, there were.
I know
Like
they gave
in
you that.
Requiem for a Dream. If you rented Requiem for a Dream
I did rent Requiem
from Blockbuster, there was one scene that was not in there, and I'm sure you can figure out which it was.
There's a couple scenes in that movie that
Caelan maybe can't. He's probably only seen the Blockbuster version.
Wait, so because before movies they used to have that warning like this film has been edited for
content.
for content.
It might be claudensed.
We got to have that for our podcast. This podcast was definitely not edited at all for content. Yeah, and resized or whatever. So
Yeah.
yeah, I didn't know that Blockbuster did that though. That's odd.
Yep.
Oh well. But anyway, yes, great magnet stuff, and enjoy the hammer, Nick. Trevor West, he says variety pack number 3.
Oh, I was just
For
talking about that
Claus.
today.
There's
Yeah.
a new variety pack. It's blackberry, mango, strawberry, pineapple, possibly my favorite variety pack.
It sounds pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I don't think it's available
Sounds pretty.
yet, though.
It sounds clawsome, and it's like they listened to all the listeners.
Are you listening, advertising agencies? Are you listening?
I got to say, I'm very happy with Trevor West, and I thank him for this positive White Claw content. But I do not enjoy the people with the admittedly funny memes that say shit like drink whiskey because no one's writing a country song about White Claw or some
No,
shit.
I like all that stuff. Keep it coming.
I
We should not
appreciate-
feel good about this.
I appreciate
We should
them.
not feel good
Yeah.
about this.
I feel it's an attack.
Look,
They're funny.
if everyone wants to post it, it's not for me. It's not for Gary. It's for Mike Clausen. and at least it pleases him. So, whatever.
It's so good. See?
All right. Los Angeles.
Why doesn't it the claw? Los Angeles.
It took 278 episodes, so we finally did it.
We got a 4-banger, ladies and gentlemen.
That's what we've been saving up, guys. Welcome to Los Angeles, California.
Hey, why don't you get around for all of us, huh?
All right, Karen Graham says, I humbly disagree with Gary that all Easter candy is terrible.
Yeah, I accept that.
She says, I present to you the Easter aisle at my local supermarket. Remember, she lives in Scotland. She says, we socialists do chocolate right. And it's just a bunch of chocolate eggs. I'm still not impressed. I don't know.
I guess I'll sort of agree that if you're gonna make me eat an Easter candy, I'd like to have a chocolate of some sort, at least an egg or a bunny, and I'll just eat that. But still, no.
Yeah. Landon Orcio, Fried Turkey Landon. He says, I'm just going to go ahead and say that Spotify is the Hulu of podcast apps. Fucking worthless and riddled with glitches. I've used Spotify for podcasting. Not perfect yet.
I cheered when I saw
agree.
this comment.
Yeah, this is a great comment.
This comment.
So we've all tried it.
Thank you, Caelan.
This
I
comment.
saw myself.
Continue.
I
Yeah.
think that I have hope that they'll get there.
It's surprising that they're not because they have how prestigious they are for streaming music. It's my go-to for streaming music.
Yeah.
I love it.
And they want to position themselves as being like the place for podcasts.
Well, the place for audio now, but
Yeah, I mean, they don't just want to. They've spent $5 billion in the last 2 years trying to get there.
Yeah.
Even today, I tried to just look up a podcast on online, and as soon as I got to the first page, there was nowhere for me to search for the podcast, and I just thought of this.
Now,
I was like, oh, this is great.
for the record, if you disagree with us and you're listening on Spotify right now, thank you.
yes,
Yeah, that's true.
yes, please,
Listen
thank
to
you.
us wherever.
Now,
you.
I know this has been discussed probably on a past Tech Talk, but I use Hulu fairly often. I don't really ever have a problem with it.
What do you watch on Hulu? Tell me a
Search,
reason.
and then you put in the thing that
Give
you
me a
wanna
reason.
watch.
Give me a reason for Hulu.
It kind of, before I had the YouTube TV, it was the most simple replacement for the basic cable channels.
Oh, so you don't have
Oh,
cable?
yeah, it's going back.
Well, Matt, you're using a different service than we're
Okay.
using then. The Hulu for live TV is not something I have. But
No. I don't use it for the live TV, but it had all the NBC shows, the ABC shows, like the basic network shows you can get on demand like the next day.
Okay, so for you used it for on-demand stuff.
On-demand stuff, exactly.
I was going to say, what you just said was I go to Hulu, I look up something I want to watch, and it's there.
Right.
Most of the time when I go to Hulu, I don't know what I want to watch. I want Hulu to tell me.
I see.
And in that case, it is very difficult to find something, especially they mislabel movies. So under the horror section, there will be a movie that is not a horror movie.
I like horror movies.
And I'll take it a step.
Movies too.
I'll take it a step
But
further.
I don't like when they.
I think you
call.
and Dawson are talking about two different kinds of
I
movies.
think we are too.
Yeah.
It's a little.
Dawson's talking about the adult
change in
section.
syllables.
The other
Horror
way it's
movies.
the other way that it's awful, Matt,
like
is
those too.
sometimes I'll go there knowing what I want to watch, like the new Palm Springs movie or something. But if I don't know what it's called, it's the biggest release that weekend on Hulu. I should not have trouble finding it, but I do.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's like have you ever been to a Marshalls or a TJ Maxx at the end of their shift or at the end of the night where everything's just all over the place? It's just awful for browsing. If you know, or like IKEA or something like.
It's
not
Ross
organ.
at 5 o'clock.
It's
on
Ross.
Saturday.
Yes, exactly. You get it. It's Ross. So
All right.
it's all just haphazardly put there. You don't really know what's there because it's all just all over the place, and it's disorganized, and it's not intuitive. And Matt's wrong.
All right.
I just can't disagree with that.
Moving on.
Oh, watch yourself. It's the claw.
It sounds like a luau, so I'm like fucking. Like I want to be into it,
But do watch Palm Springs. That was a great movie.
That was a great movie.
Yeah,
He
that's
was
good.
Big fan. Okay, Tim Osink. He asked a question. He says, so here's a topic I'd like to hear discussion about. Full disclosure, I've been drinking whiskey, but have had the same thought when completely sober. So nice disclaimer there.
Yep.
I'm a 38-year-old married father of 2. Oftentimes, the only time I get to listen to what I want is at the gym or when walking the dog. Obviously, Watercooler, ACS, and FCOL, Respect All Women. That's for crying out loud. Get their due airtime, but when that runs out, I turn to Amazon Music. Dawson uses Amazon Music over Spotify.
I do. It's
Yeah.
not Spot. Yes, over
Yeah.
Spotify.
Yes.
I thought you meant like over the network of Spotify.
No.
Instead of Spotify, yeah.
Right.
Get their due. I turn to Amazon Music, which is where I indulged an interest in Miley Cyrus. Here's the hot take. The Plastic Hearts album is absolute fire. 3 fire emojis. And I love it. How says the Bobo Boy Army? Well, I listened to a little bit of it today. It's fine. I got to listen to it more, I guess. I don't dislike Miley Cyrus though. She has some absolute bangers. And
Do you
so
have any 4 bangers though?
no, only weedy, baby. Only water cooler. Like Party in the USA. If you want to get the night started or the day started, whatever.
Yeah.
If you have,
I prefer the Weird Al version, Party in the CIA. It's a classic. If you haven't heard that,
Yeah.
highly recommend it.
Wrecking Ball, sure. I'll
What if
listen
you
to
hear the Weird Al song first?
That's happened so many times in my life.
it. Yeah.
Amish Paradise.
Okay.
You've heard your Amish Paradise before? No, you didn't.
Like, who's this Coolio guy ripping off Weird Al? I don't get it.
Yeah, I too. So Jen wasn't the biggest Weird Al fan. My fiance Jen wasn't the biggest Weird Al fan growing up. My fiance Jen. My fiance.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Really?
Yes, really. It's a 4-banger.
Come on, it's a
Four
special
banger, four banger.
episode.
And so I'm trying to explain to her, Amish Paradise, eat it. And she's like, I don't really know. So I'm like, we're watching it. And it was just like when I showed her the replacements. I don't know. Maybe we just weren't in the mood. But it was like, it was not
quiet.
looking good. Like, you understand? This guy's a legend, Jen. He's a legend. And he's just dancing there in his fat suit. Like, oh my God.
That's good.
Yeah, it was a little rough. All right. Anyway, Christopher Truitt asks a question. Does anyone... Oh, he asked this for the group. Does anyone else save this podcast for a really bad day so they can listen and just feel just a little bit better? Thanks for all that you do.
Aww.
And a lot of people said... a lot of people actually said no.
There was a lot of nope, listen to it when it comes out.
That's exactly right. Because they don't want to wait. But this one really surprised me. Some people repeat. They go, but when I am having a bad day, I'll listen to an older episode again.
Wow.
Or listen
That's
to the same
nice.
episode.
That's really
That's
nice.
really
to
nice.
get them in the, and there is something
That
magical.
warms my heart.
Look at that. It warms Clausen's heart. And there's there's something really special about this podcast. Like we did it with Caelan yesterday, our last show. Remember, he was like kind of LEC, low energy Caelan, and then by the end he was like, "Woo, bouncing off the walls."
I think
I'm gonna live forever.
I think it was the laughter
And the camaraderie.
and the camaraderie.
And the laughter and the camaraderie. Yeah. So, I'm with you, man. This podcast brightens my day too.
Radical.
Alexander Gaxiola. We've kind of addressed this, but it's been a while.
P. Terry's is awesome.
Okay, Boba Boy Army. Another heated argument with the wife. I love how now we're just solving marital problems.
And causing them.
Possibly causing them, yes.
Speaking of which, patreon.com/watercooler.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
we do 2 episodes a week,
Yeah.
and those episodes are numbered in a completely different format. They do not count toward this 4-banger counting.
They count towards the 5-banger.
Yeah. She does. Well, anyway, his wife, Alex says, she doesn't want me to persuade the polls, so what say you? What is the best overall potato? I need your help ASAP. Woof woof. Oh, boy.
When was this posted?
Well, I'll tell you the rankings, because we don't even know Alex's. Remember, he's not allowed to persuade, so hopefully Alex said fries.
What are they?
Because fries is 63. Fries is number 1 by more than twice the second place. Second place, hash browns. Third place, mashed potatoes. Fourth place, there are no wrong answers, all caps. And then fifth place is scalloped.
Jesus, where's baked?
Yeah, baked over scalloped for sure.
Ew, no, really?
I love a baked potato.
Loaded
Fantastic.
baked potato? Come on now.
Double baked potato.
Baked potato, you just throw it
Oh,
into
a
an
twice
oven.
baked
you just-
potato.
Twice baked
Yeah,
potato.
yeah,
Hell
for
yeah.
sure.
That's a
Twice
whole different game. That's a whole different game. Yeah, I thought that this poll, while good-natured, was a wildly unfair question, and when I looked at the results and saw how few there were, I was disgusted. Are you kidding me? Baked French fries is one category. Come on, we've done whole.
Yes,
we've done
brackets
fry.
based on
we
the
could
kind
direct
of
you.
fry.
That's
Yeah.
why.
To
That's why
episode
fry.
69 plus 69 plus, I'm going to guess like
Yeah,
63.
the early days.
Yeah. We went through all of this.
It's
You
true.
gotta-
Well,
you
we
gotta go back and
definitely went over best fry. We've ran the gamut with the fries. We've gone curly, crisp cut,
Garlic,
garlic, all that. So
julienne, shoestring.
I don't remember what we said. So you're gonna go back and listen.
And hash
Probably
browns
curly
are pretty
fries.
good.
Yeah, no, I like crispy shoestring.
Yeah.
I think the answer is there are no wrong answers.
You think? Oh, so Dawson's in that group.
Speaking of ranking, I am developing the next Chez Fondiler
Or
segment,
baked potato.
but I'm going to put it out to listeners. I need an unusual sided die. No 6-sided die. I need like a 10-sided die or a 20-sided die.
Well, if you
Like a
remember,
Dungeons and Dragons, like
Exactly.
They have online ones, like
Exactly,
online.
bro.
Yeah, no, I get it. Putting it out there to listen.
well, Matt,
I might.
I think there's one listener in particular that you're thinking of because we recently got a comment. We have a Patreon subscriber who runs a dye business that we plugged before.
That's right.
And he actually just commented and commented and sent in his plug for this week's episode.
Really?
So he's definitely been listening.
All right.
And then
well,
I think
that guy's
Gage
gotta
plays
help me out
Dungeons
here.
and Dragons still, so Gage has one.
Okay. Well, listen.
I'm sure.
I'm just
Yeah.
saying, it's a little bit of a tease.
Matt.
It's still an R&D right now, but I feel like
D&D.
if we're one die away from it being D&D, that's all right.
Matt.
Well,
I'm
he's
just
listening
warning
right
you.
now. He's probably putting a die in the mail.
Great.
to you right now.
I worry that Matt opened up a can of worms because on this very show, Dawson once said, "Hey, if anybody has any corks, send me some
true.
corks." And Dawson got sent like 43 pounds of corks.
Oh my God, you're right. You know, we have a dude who owns a dice shop, so
Todd
thanks. Go ahead and forget that. We do not need a bunch of dice in here.
We should need one.
Yeah. All
I
right.
really should have thought of that before I said it out loud.
Anyway, what about au gratin?
Au gratin.
Au gratin?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I love au
It's kind
gratin.
of, there's no real, I mean, there's somebody, some chef would be like, no, there's a big difference between au gratin and scalloped, but it's wet potatoes.
Wet cheesy potato.
They're made, yeah.
They're cousins, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Maybe one has garlic sauce and one has cheese sauce.
Well, I don't care. They're
cheese.
delicious.
So they are delicious.
I might vote for that. All right, Casey Peters, who does our theme song and a lot of our intro songs, almost all of them.
And tries really hard to get his wife to listen, but to no avail.
Yes. He's heading into surgery, or I'm guessing he already headed into surgery. Carpal tunnel. So 4 to 6 weeks of no playing instruments. That's
Chris,
rough.
Does this make you nervous? Because I know you've been wearing a brace lately, and that you're having it.
Yeah, it totally makes me nervous. So I'm just doing stretches, and I know I'm eventually going to have it. So we'll see.
It's a bummer.
I remember one time I went to a C party where everyone who went had to dress as something that
I bet
starts
the
with a
ladies
C.
hosting it did not appreciate
This
that
is right
at
for
all.
satire.
Yeah, I also.
Why?
I thought this was going to be about
Country
the
music
ocean.
singer.
Wow.
Wait, you had captains. Yeah, I don't understand.
Tell us more about your SeaWorld party.
Okay, so who hosted it? It was my friend.
A real C.
My friend Christy. This is a couple years ago,
Courage.
and I went as a carpal tunnel sufferer because I forgot my costume, and that's all I had.
You're that guy.
I know. People loved it.
You couldn't find a dog costume to put on?
People loved it to your face behind your back.
It only starts with a B. That's for the B parties, Matt.
You could have just said I'm an Ewok.
Okay. Very true.
Count it.
That works for any other party, but not the
Four-banger!
party. It's a four-banger. But anyway, Casey, we wish you a swift recovery. And look, you
Yeah,
still.
dude.
I'm guessing you still have your left hand, so you can play some bass notes on that keyboard. That's not a euphemism.
sounded really weird.
Not a euphemism.
Still got that
Double
left
entendre.
hand, so
no double entendre.
Add a
all good.
stroke to your game.
There you go. Nicholas Doivetter. He says, "Hey, Laxamana Survivor is currently accepting applications. Maybe you could win some money for the wedding."
He's already doing the Hunger Dome.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Yeah.
So.
And
can I be there for the meeting where you tell Adam that you're going to do Survivor? Please.
Oh, that would be so
I'll
awesome.
take video, I promise.
that would be awesome. But I have zero survival skills, so
That's why it would be so funny.
it would be funny. I'd be like, Adam, I'm missing one day of work. So I'm off that island right after that.
A good friend of mine worked production for that. She was in charge of partying with the people when they got kicked off the island.
Oh, nice.
Greatest fucking job in the world.
That is awesome.
She just had to party.
I recently, because when I went to Vegas with Adam one time, we went to Hell's Kitchen and got to eat for the TV show. I've talked about it before. But I was put into a database for reality shows. So I'm constantly getting requests to apply for reality shows. And the most recent one, Temptation Island.
Wow.
Yeah. How about that, huh? So
How does your fiancé feel about that
Still
one?
got it.
Is this the first time she's learning of it?
No, she knows.
Wow.
All right. It's not like I said yes right away. Nicholas Lay.
It's a multi-round interview. You never know.
Very true. The audition process would be interesting enough. Nicholas Lay, he just says, quote, "Are your parents here? Funniest line of the year."
Oh.
There you go, Matt. And the crying and the skull emoji. You killed him.
Wow.
You killed him. I thought it was very funny, too.
It was great.
Danny Feynman, he just wrote his whole post, "I'm watching The Dark Knight for the first time." Mm-hmm. And everyone's response is basically lucky.
Yeah. I was gonna say I'm jealous.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I watched The Dark Knight.
Me too.
So do I.
Me too.
Yeah. You guys probably saw it in theaters.
I remember the second time.
Right in the
IMAX,
first row
baby.
because it was so crowded. I had to just stare directly up the whole time. Yeah, it was a terrible way to see it for the first time.
I watched it on my parents' couch
Really?
with my parents in the room. And I was on the couch that, it's not the greatest angle, but you can see it.
Yeah.
And, fuck, that was an awesome movie.
It's so, especially in IMAX. Oh, especially when you're front row IMAX. Caelan.
I happened to be on vacation in New York, and I saw it in a theater in New York City, and then I got to walk out into
Oh, shit.
the
Gotham.
city. It was
Nice.
It was pretty cool.
Well, I got that beat halfway through the movie. We had to pause it because Dad had to pee.
Yeah, it seems like it's about the same there.
6
It's a draw.
But anyway, Danny, enjoy. We hope you enjoyed The Dark Knight. Rich McKinney, he says, Chris Laxamana was definitely beating
Richie Rich.
Statesist, assuming I was somewhere southern because of me singing a country song. Remember, he said he would
from the
barbecue.
American Southwest. Shut up.
He wears a cowboy hat.
Yeah.
Dawson's right ahead.
He's
From
playing.
fucking Phoenix, bro. Go watch Tombstone.
Chris, you want to read the rest of the comment?
Sure. Anyway, I just want to say Dawson is my favorite part of the show.
Not anymore.
No, he says, granted, it's the Southwest, so take it for what it's worth. If any of the Corolla crew comes through the Phoenix area,
Barbecue.
I'll make sure to have some barbecue ready for you. Thanks, man.
Thanks, dude. Thank you.
And he says, for the record, I'm flattered he assumed I was from the South as I grew up farming and working with cattle. Well, you have the look, man, and you have the sound.
You know, yeah, people really discount the American Southwest. Like, California used to be cowboy country. Yeah. My grandfather, fucking was a rancher in Northern California.
Yeah.
Fucking, there were cowboys here.
Rich, I looked at you and I thought...
Back when there were two kinds of music, country and Western.
I didn't assume you were from New Hampshire, is what I was saying. Jake...
Maine. Maine. He sounded like he was from Maine.
Jake Zerby, he says, anyone flown out of LAX lately? Are the bars open?
Nope.
Well, they are not, except I can tell you, at least if you fly Alaskan, there is one bar open, and there's going to be a long line based off of my drunken flight mate. She told me there's one bar open, and she bought rounds for everybody. All right. And then, and lastly, Kevin Elwell. He's talking, remember how we talked about magic cocktails and the old-fashioned with maple, though? And Kevin Elwell says, ooh, a maple old-fashioned sounds like hot fucking garbage. Either you like whiskey-tasting whiskey or you don't like whiskey. # no IHOP drinks.
Yeah.
So
I did totally laugh at that. That was great.
I think, Matt, you're a victim there of your desire to order off the cocktail menu.
I'm not a victim. First of all, I'm a survivor.
That's
and second of all, I will continue to order off that fucking menu.
Oh, I know you will.
I'm with that. I enjoy the you're like the Lewis and Clark of alcoholics, you know?
I like that.
you know what I've been really getting into?
Let's see. Did somebody find some undiscovered country that I know nothing about? You're the Teddy Roosevelt
I have to admit,
of drunks.
That's good.
I have to
Even
admit,
better.
I was rather disappointed you didn't order the goddess or whatever
Yeah.
it was called.
Yeah, I wanted that too.
I should have, and you know what? There's always next time.
And look, one of the guys ripping on you wears Crocs.
Oh, no. Here's the thing. There would be three.
So, what do you got to lose?
There would have been 3 guys ripping on him, and I agree with Matt and Caelan, or with Chris and Caelan.
One
wish
of them's
you had ordered
Gary.
the Empress, too.
Yeah. And the other one, maybe the other one's doing the
I should
best.
stop living my life
Yeah,
according
exactly.
to other people's
That's right.
perception
There
and
you go.
expectations of
Live
me.
your best life. Treat
Yeah.
yourself and get the Empress.
Yeah, all right.
Get the
Hashtag get the Empress.
Hashtag get the Empress. That's kind of the motto of this episode
Yeah.
today. Get the
Get
Empress.
the Empress.
Yeah, I should say yes to more things.
It's
Yeah,
a
get the
four-banger.
Empress. All right, but anyway, Matt, when you're looking through cocktail menus, do you look at like the number of ingredients? Does that change your mind too, or like if you're seeing
If it's like 6 lines long,
if it's 6 lines
I'm
long,
in.
are you? Oh
No,
yeah,
no,
okay,
No, I generally look at what type of alcohol I would like to drink first.
yeah,
I'm kind of scanning to see, this has gin in it, this has tequila in it, etc.
okay. What kind of margaritas do you like?
Cadillac.
You like the Cadillac?
What's in that?
That's the Grand Marnier.
Correct.
Yeah, the orange liqueur floated,
Which is very touristy. A lot of
Very
people say
touristy.
that's like where they give you the biggest ripoff. But
I think so too. I didn't want to say it. That's
Yep.
like you saying
I know it
your favorite table game is like 3-card poker or something.
Let me give you a little trick that I learned from my great mother. When you order a margarita at a Mexican restaurant, just get their standard margarita, but get a shot of the lowest,
The
Shelf?
lowest
well,
to shelf,
the wellest,
shelf,
the wellest tequila.
the wellest tequila you can. And then when you bring the margarita, you taste it. There's never any tequila in it. Just fucking dump that other shot in there,
I was
give it a little swirl.
and then you're ready to go.
Yeah. Can you taste the difference if it's like really good alcohol versus bad alcohol in cocktails?
no, but you can feel it.
Oh,
Like you can feel it later
you
in
can
the
buy the
night or the
effects.
next morning.
Okay,
Especially if
Sure,
you're
sure.
mixing a bunch of different drinks
Yeah.
and it's not good quality alcohol.
You're like the
Here we go.
Marie Curie.
This would be a compliment.
I'm trying to think.
Claret?
I'm trying to think of a scientist.
Claret.
Give me a scientist.
Albert Einstein.
No, not that one. Somebody who was a chemist.
Copernicus.
Walter White.
Oh, Walter White.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
we've
a
been
good
talking
one.
about Walter White.
I'll be the Walter White of whatever you're about to say.
That's not gonna. I'll think about it. All right.
All right. Well, anyway, those are our comments.
Bill Nye.
He's not a chemist. He's a science guy.
Thank you so much to everybody for writing in. We appreciate you guys.
Yeah, dude's not even a doctor. He's science guy.
It rhymes.
You kind of know.
If his name was Bill
Bill
Proctor,
Nye-
it would be different.
Full of shit. Bill Nye,
His name
comma,
was Bill Proctor. It'd be
science
real.
guy. I have to have
That's the guy.
ankle surgery soon, you know? And I want to get it from Roger Carlson, surgery guy.
Yeah, well, it has to rhyme.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
But
Proctor was a bad guy.
Bill Proctor.
Not a doctor.
All right. Well, anyway, thank you again to everybody for writing in. We appreciate it. Look, we're celebrating our four-banger this episode, and we wouldn't be anywhere without you and your
Can
comments.
you believe we've done this many fucking episodes of this nonsense?
Really? I cannot, and I just need to say, if you're not in our Facebook group, why?
It's a great place to be.
It's a hilarious
It's
place.
a virtual party for me, and I'm happy to see everybody all the time.
We have not run out of material.
Nope.
I know.
Yeah,
Look at us. We're patting ourselves on the back. We've not run out of material. We've literally discussed like best fry like for the 7th episode.
So, you know, you revisit the classics.
Yeah, you got it.
Classics.
I agree with Clausen.
All right. Well, let's move on to some flicking the bean. Caelan, you ready to go?
I have a rather special flick in the bean this week. Ooh. In honor of the four-banger. Wow. So much so I thought it deserved its own theme song.
Get out.
Hit it, Chris.
Whoa.
We all want to know what's there. Your opinion's what we need. So can we get on that mic and flick the bean?
Oh, Caelan, flick the bean.
Respect all women.
If you couldn't hear it,
I thought you could have hear it a little bit better.
It's
could have
about
asked
the
the
same
audio.
production quality. It's about the same production quality as the other one, so I'm not surprised.
I wanted it.
That's great.
I wanted my first time to be with you guys. So I did not.
that was amazing.
I didn't practice that.
Jesus.
We got a homework assignment. Was it a week ago or 2 weeks ago?
2 weeks ago.
2 Mondays ago.
That I was very excited about. One of the first times I've ever been excited about homework. And it was to check out the new Blockbuster documentary on Netflix.
Now, did everyone do their homework?
Yes.
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 Yeah, I did mine by not watching it.
Yeah, that's about right. That's about right.
The last Blockbuster documentary, available now on Netflix, directed by Taylor Morden. It features interviews with a lot of comedians. Doug Benson, who's very present in the doc, Jamie Kennedy, Brian Posehn, Kevin Smith, Paul Scheer, Ron Funches, and more. And it is about the last Blockbuster, which is located in Bend, Oregon. An hour and 26 minutes. 67% critic, 65% audience on Rotten Tomatoes.
I didn't look at the score. Interesting.
And this was just pure nostalgia.
They're just shoveling member berries down your throat.
The whole time. I mean, everything from the way the Blockbuster VHS cases would open and shut to the smell of every Blockbuster. And it just brought back so many memories.
Like memories of the show, just us all talking about Blockbuster.
Wow. And you know, I learned a lot too. Everyone always said, "Oh, Blockbuster went out of business because of Netflix. Netflix put them out of business." It turns out that wasn't the case, and if it weren't for the financial crisis, Blockbuster seemed to be way more poised to be what is Netflix today.
Yeah.
Is he spoiling the documentary for
Nah,
everybody?
that's all about the first 10
I'm
minutes.
assuming everyone's done their homework.
See, I personally that part of the story actually kind of bothered me because they're like, everyone thinks it's because of Netflix, but it wasn't. And then 20 minutes later, they're like, yeah, we had a good opportunity to buy Netflix. We decided not to do that. And then a little bit later, their business fucking fails. Like, it did have to do with Netflix.
There are whole books on this topic. I've read one of them. Like, it's pretty nuanced, but yeah, they had a chance to buy Netflix and whatever. It's complicated. I think the reason that those Rotten Tomato scores are so low is the reason that Dawson hates this conversation right now. I think that there's a percentage of the reviewers who are just not in the right age range for the target of this film.
Well, it was great seeing all those, Blockbuster memories and hearing people talk about it and remembering. I mean, I don't watch a lot of documentaries, so I guess it seemed okay for a documentary. I didn't think it was, particularly really well made. there's some kind of silly things in there, a couple like reenactments that are kind of strange, and was definitely too long. Definitely too long. It did not need to be an hour and 26 minutes. I actually got, at one point watching it, I was like, you know what, I'm kind of losing this nostalgia feeling and just getting tired. So I think I should
Nostalgia just isn't what it used to be.
Yeah. So I had to just turn it off and then keep watching it the next day. But
you turn it off. That can't be good.
Not a good.
I'm just
not
trying to
a good.
pre-guess the skill here.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. It was weirdly made. It felt like it was made by a comedian or a comedian's friend, and it was just because it was all comedians in there. It was like kind of hokey. They did a lot of jokes within the storytelling of it, which I mean, it's an interesting device. I didn't hate it, but I just thought it was odd.
Yeah, it kind of threw me off.
And, yeah, like Lauren Lapkus did the narration of it, and she was kind of jokey like throughout whenever she would narrate and things like that. So I was like, oh, it kind of took me out of it for a little bit. I didn't hate it, but it took me out of it. And then, but there were some moments where it just felt like it was just kind of they're just really beating that nostalgic drum. And I was sitting next to Jen Gunn. Yeah, we talked about that. Oh yeah, we talked about that in the Watercooler too. We already talked about it. We already addressed all this stuff. We did that in one episode. We did this whole thing in one episode. I didn't particularly love it, but I was happy I watched it.
Yeah,
sure.
I agree. Caelan, what's that?
You should have a film segment on this show.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about it. Yeah.
No, that's a great way to put it. I didn't think it was a particularly good documentary, but I did really enjoy watching it. And anybody that's ever stepped inside a Blockbuster or has no idea what a Blockbuster is should check it out too. It is flickable. 6.1 out of 10.
All right.
I got one.
I'll be celebrating.
Gary, Buster.
Sorry, Gary. What was that?
Gary predicted the score, so he wrote it down.
Nice.
He wrote down F6.1.
Only today. On the floor,
amazing. We should just turn the microphones off right now.
So, to add on to that flicking, to give you a little something, last night it was like 9:30, I turn on Netflix, and I just find something to fucking watch. And it ends up at a horror movie called Demonic, starring Frank Grillo.
Oh, okay. Now I'm interested.
And I'm like, all right, well, this dude's... And Maria Bella. I'm like, all right, this dude... Yeah, it's for Frank Grillo. I like this fucking guy.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Hour, 22 minutes. I'm in. Just fucking hit play. Not bad, dude. Couple of legitimate jump scare scenes. Nothing new. Solid ending. They could have upped it from B-movie status a little bit, but for budget horror in and out in a minute and an hour 22.
Yeah.
Do it, dude.
I might go check that out then.
Yeah.
Nice. I do need something new to watch.
Demonic. All right. Well, now it's time for our food review, our big food review. And I'm going to turn it back to Caelan, who has tried Dawson's lasagna.
Oh, let's hear it.
Dawson did fulfill his promise and brought me lasagna last week or 2 weeks ago. And I have to say, it was the best lasagna
Whoa!
I have ever eaten in my life. And it's the reason why it tops the
surf and turf,
mm-hmm. because I guess my favorite type of food is that comfort food, that homemade comfort food. And it just had all those elements of it. I would take that lasagna over a Mastro's steak and lobster.
Matt, are you having fun listening to this explanation of how other people got lasagna and it was the best thing in the world?
I'm not. I am not either.
I'm not having fun right now, but I mean, I'm glad that you thought it was delicious.
We had a chance where you could choose teams.
So now Dawson is basically, the SEC would investigate you if we were in the stock market right now because you're trying to sway markets. I have to be guided by the true North Star. This is not, you can't be trying to influence me with fucking free food.
Oh, look, Gary goes. Don't throw a bunch of legal mumbo jumbo my way. Lasagna is pan food.
Lasagna.
Comfort food. It's isolated. It stays its own. Surf and turf. Too many geography locations in the play. Man, surf and turf.
Too many.
What is
surf
turf?
And
is
turf?
That grass? Is that grass? Maybe it is grass, but is it dirt? Maybe it's sand. I don't know, dude.
Oh yeah, I didn't think it could be sand.
There's a lot of turf, bro.
I'm leaning towards lasagna now because of
maybe it's mud.
Yeah, I didn't think about mud or sand.
Who knows? Lasagna.
That's the turf.
It's in a pan.
I don't know, Dawson. I feel like you're using a lot of big words to try to sway me over to Team Lasagna when the way to do it is with a nice, delicious
piece of lasagna.
That would be the
you
way.
Put that in front of me, and I haven't had a
yeah.
steak in 6 weeks since I haven't been able to leave my fucking house.
Since I play by the rules, I can't.
No, you
now,
just punish people.
if I had given
Your feud
Caelan
is purely
lasagna
when I was still
before the
deciding.
vote, if I had given it to him before the vote, then I would be guilty of every crime you claim I am.
No, Doss, we're not mad. We're not upset.
This
that
was a attaboy.
Yeah.
This was a hey, you know what? You chose the right team, man. Here's what.
I'm so glad
Here's
I
what
did.
Team Lasagna members get.
It's fine. It's
Here's
fine.
one of the perks of being on Team Lasagna.
We're not upset that you're going around bribing people for your team, but we're just upset you didn't bribe us. We would like to be bribed.
I'll just say I'm not even upset at all. I'm disappointed.
You know, you just have to wait another year
Yeah.
until Mona D comes back to town. And
At which point,
although
you'll
we
stop
did have
being
a
vindictive.
we did have a discussion today, and she's gonna. I said, "Ma, you got to teach me how to make the sauce." She's like, "All right, I'll write it down." So, and I still have lasagna things, so maybe I'll give it a shot.
I don't want
But
your
that's-
experimental
see, I wouldn't-
lasagna.
exactly,
I
I
want
don't-
the Mona
I
D
don't-
original.
Yeah.
What is this?
You gotta wait a year for that.
I'll wait a year. At this point,
You know, I feel like Gary, Chris, 3 of us need to go get some surf and turf together.
there's
Yeah,
that.
you enjoy. Go ahead.
We're going to talk about
Never gonna match the
the
goodness of that.
future of this
Homemade,
company.
comforting lasagna.
Put it on the business card.
You know what, Matt?
What do you gotta say?
When you're right, you're right.
If you go business card and you do that, then
Oh no,
you
this
are,
is a conversation.
you
It's
are
only-
This is only for people who voted for the right
really
Correct.
breaking the rules.
And we'll talk about
That's
production.
really breaking the
The
rules.
rules were just explained to me, and it has to do with the people who voted for the right team.
Yeah, you know, we'll talk about the future
All right,
of
guys,
the show.
come on, not on the four banger. Let's go. Let's finish this up. Not on the four banger. Come on. Let's bring back the harmony here and get a little palate cleanser with some Shea Fondiler.
Oh no!
What type of foods might we hear of today? What might be the price? What might be the venue? So let's find out. It's time for Gary to say, hey, Matt.
What's on the menu and the company card?
Oh, by the way, that was a joke. I never used the company card. No, of course, so let's not get that rumor started. Okay, thank you. This is one of the public episodes, right? All right. So my wife and I, we do a lot of cooking, as I'm sure everyone is doing these days. And Friday nights usually try to do kind of like an easier meal, wind things down for the weekend. We're gonna make a little grapefruit avocado watercress salad.
That's your easy meal?
Super easy. Gonna make some tuna melts.
Yes, I love tuna melts.
Hell yeah. But did a little Zoom chat with some friends of mine, had a few belts, and suddenly cooking didn't sound like such a good idea, even a simple meal. So my wife and I decided, you know what? We're not going to cook. We're going to order some food from Grubhub. And we ordered some Din Tai Fung, which is high-quality Chinese food.
So we're getting another cliche Fondiler.
I don't know what that means, but perhaps.
That is weird.
Is that the name of a restaurant?
Din Tai Fung? Yeah, we all tried to go there once. It's like a dim sum place.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it's really good.
Soup dumplings. Big soup dumpling place.
Yeah, I'm excited for this.
So first I get the text that the order's been delayed. It's fine. It's no problem. Then I get the text that's on its way. And then I get the text the driver's approaching. And then a lot of time goes by, and no one ever knocks on the door or rings the doorbell. And then I just like, this is ridiculous. I look at my app, and it says, your order was delivered like 8 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Now,
Matt, you're a victim of the fact that I was going to point out earlier, you almost never do delivery. So you must have had a belt or two on that Zoom call. You getting delivery is very strange. But since you've last done it, the COVID protocols require that there's contactless delivery, so they just drop that shit and they don't always knock on your door.
Well, that's what I thought, but we went outside and there was
Nothing
no
there.
food. There was absolutely no food. Now, my wife, being the practical person that she is, she jumped into action. She said sometimes delivery drivers get a little confused about where our place is. There's really no reason to, but it does happen. So she takes the dog and she's like, I'm going to go walk around the corner and see if they dropped it on like the block behind us. And while she's doing that, I get on the chat. And I can see there's 70 people ahead of me on the chat.
Ooh.
And it eventually gets through. And the customer service guy.
That first one had to be exciting.
What's that?
When you got down to 69.
Oh, yeah, that was the moment. That was the moment.
5 banger.
This guy on the chat tells me that my order was marked as delivered, and I said it is absolutely not delivered. I received no food. He's like, let me call the driver, and I'll get back to you.
Great.
5 seconds later, he goes, your order's been canceled. The restaurant canceled the order. I then get a phone call while I'm chatting with this guy from the customer service rep, who's a person, not a robot. And they're like, hey, I'm calling from Grubhub, just letting you know that your order was canceled. Click.
Oh, really?
I literally couldn't say anything.
Oh, my God.
I then tell...
Oh, it's making my skin crawl.
I'm explaining to the person on the other end of this texting that, like, listen, I understand that you're going to be refunding this meal. Good for you guys, but now we've been waiting for food
the
for
good
like
news
an
is
hour and a
now
half.
you're ready to cook.
Tuna melts. I've seen this. I've been following this tracking thing for the last hour.
Right.
And what she basically said was when they called the driver hung up on them, and that it was their last drop off of the night. And because the restaurant canceled the order, they don't get paid. So I'm pretty sure the delivery driver took Chinese food home, had an amazing Chinese food meal for their wife, for their family rather. And then we were left with exactly what Dawson said. 95 minutes later, several more drinks later, ended up having to make salad and tuna melt for dinner. And it was so sad.
It's a long way getting there, folks.
Yeah.
It's a long way getting there. Thanks for hanging in.
Thanks for hanging in there, guys.
I hate the click.
That was ridiculous. And then what they offered was to sign me up for their Grubhub Deluxe service. It wasn't a free offer. It was like, here's our sales pitch.
Okay. Right. First of all, I use Uber Eats, and I've had mistakes with my order. If they deliver you the wrong thing, they're like, what in your order wasn't there?
Yeah.
You check everything. Dude, they refund it. Fucking no problem. One night, luckily, they put my food on my neighbor's porch, and I didn't get it. It said it wasn't delivered, and they canceled it. And then my neighbor walks over with my food and goes, hey, dude, is this yours? I'm like, fuck yeah, free food.
Then you called the
Uber
place
Eats.
back and was like, here's the money that I paid.
You don't, no.
Of course
I didn't.
I was going to say, it's been a while since I've gotten
It happens.
the
You
food
don't-
delivered, but when I do, it's been Postmates pretty much exclusively.
Yeah.
Now with Postmates, you're tracking the driver pretty much the whole time, and you can contact them directly. Can you not do either of those things with Grubhub?
Well, here's what I'll say. I don't know the answer to your question, but I always use DoorDash, and I actually pay to be like, you pay $10 a month or whatever, and they give you reduced fees and free delivery. But Din Tai Fung, not on DoorDash, one of the only restaurants that's not. So I was already sort of reluctantly using this
That's
service.
not too Din Tai Fung.
Nope. No, it's not.
They're not all awesome.
Anyway, it was a really crazy fucking night, and I guess the moral of the story is don't use delivery services. Just cook cook the tuna sandwiches.
Has anybody here actually had Din Tai Fung? Because I feel like
It's
we're
awesome.
almost cursed. Okay.
It's always the
Oh, yeah, because the story was Brian, when Shrinkage came out, as a thank you for us all helping and promote, he's like, I want to take you all out to Din Tai Fung. And we went there, and the wait was just so long. We went to the Mexican restaurant next door.
I have had it before. It's incredible.
It's really great.
That's interesting.
Caelan, have you had
I did
soup
a
dumplings?
fuckload
No.
of work for that event.
I mean-
including being the live announcer for that event. I don't think I was ever.
You were
at
there.
Din
You were
Tai
totally
Fung.
there. No, we
No,
didn't
we
go to
didn't
Din Tai
have it.
Fung.
We didn't
Didn't have
go.
it.
Did you hear what I said? We went
He's not listening at all to the story. We didn't go to Din Tai Fung. We went to a
We
Mexican
tried to go.
restaurant. You were with us.
Oh, we had burritos.
Yes.
Yeah, they were good.
And that's what's on the menu.
I mean, a sad slow clap, because the gall that they try to upsell you. The other day, because we famously at the Corolla Show have awful internet, and I'll tell you what it is. It's fucking Spectrum. Spectrum is awful, and so we have Spectrum here, and we had another outage because we're in a pocket. They told me you're in a pocket that just gets a lot of outages. Yeah, okay, great. We're also in a business district, so that's great for a lot of business. But anyway, I called them when our internet went out to see what was going on, and while they were telling me that we would not have internet for a while, and then he's like, "By the way, how much do you pay for your cell phone?" And I'm like, "What?
Are you fucking kidding me?
Do not.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to tell you that.
Wow.
Just tell me, how much do you pay? What is it? 80? Now he's just guessing. I'm like, I'm not going to. What kind of phone do you have? I'm not going to switch my plan to Spectrum right now. What are you? How dare you?
Yeah.
How dare you?
And
Although,
then he's. Yeah, go ahead.
I was curious. I didn't think Spectrum did sell phone stuff, but I guess they do now.
Their service is actually pretty competitively priced right now because they're
Got to Gary.
the market.
I should have done it.
He's just having didn't.
But yeah, I was so upset, and then he's just trying to sell me a cell phone to get me to cancel my plan.
Yeah, when I'm on the phone with customer service who has done something wrong and they start trying to sell something else, I'll go to 11 almost every time. It pisses me off so bad.
It's bad. It's a
Don't
bad
do
policy.
it. Yeah, all the listeners here who work customer service, I know your boss makes you do it, and
Yeah, I get it. It's your job.
I get it. It just.
But you have to get that I'm
Let's
going
hope
to be
you
a
know
monster.
we're upset about it too. Yeah, so there you go. All right, well anyway, that'll do it for Watercooler. Why don't we go around and get our plugs in and GTFO. I'll start over here with Caelan. Caelan, this is a big episode, so we expect a big plug. What would you like to plug on today's four-banger?
I would like to plug Mona D's Lasagna.
Yeah.
It is a very exclusive club, but if you somehow find access to it, your life will change.
This is the episode where we
getting
all
all
break
choked
apart. Yeah, you
I
cried.
cried. Yeah, I cried.
Yeah, this. I want to try it so badly.
It's life affirming.
All right, Gary, what about you?
I was going to plug the Snyder Cut, but after that bullshit, I'm not plugging anything. Fuck off. Pet a goat and fuck off.
Oh yeah, the Snyder Cut. All right, Matt, what about you?
Follow me on Twitter at Matt Fondiler and listen to our second episode by subscribing to patreon.com/watercooler.
Yes, I agree. We have just as much fun twice a week.
Nice.
Why don't you join
yeah.
us? All right. Dawson, what's up with you?
Follow me on Twitter at Matt Fondelier. And
I
make
do
sure
forward
you
them all to Dawson.
get the Empress.
Yeah,
Definitely.
wants to plug the Empress.
Get the Empress. And reconnect with a friend you haven't talked to in like 3 years.
Yeah, I agree. Try it.
Do that and see how it goes. I'm giving it 50-50. It's been that way. It's kind of neat.
Oh, I've never.
It's like,
it usually
I
works
know
out
why I didn't talk to you for years. Or it's like, fuck, dude, what have we been doing? You know, it's cool shit. Try it.
Sounds like a win-win. You got to have a great conversation either way.
Yeah. Well, you got a story.
There you go.
Or you got a story. As for me, I'd like to plug Norms. They fed us last week, and it was
that's
quite
right.
delicious. And it was kind of funny because
I'd like to apologize to the fine gentleman who works marketing at Norms. Who I didn't know.
We plugged it on Wednesday's show, too.
Did we?
Yeah.
We didn't talk about this. The guy who was like our point person, the marketing gentleman whose name Nate. Yeah, thank you. He was super nice. You and I were hanging out with him quite a bit. We were talking a lot. I was telling him stories that I have told on this show, only to find out at the very end of the day he told, I believe
Me.
Chris, that he's a big Watercooler fan. I felt like the biggest
Yeah.
asshole.
I know.
Well, we can thank Norms again. That was a fucking
Yeah.
amazing breakfast delivery truck that's parked in our parking lot.
Yeah, we got the hash browns, hot cakes, eggs, bacon,
Eggs with
the
cheese
works.
melted on it.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was
good.
whatever we wanted. They do great breakfast food, so definitely go check out Norms if there's one near you. And there are a lot of different locations. So
Not just breakfast food. They do lunch and dinner that's really good too. But Matt, what do you think about this? I told Chris he should have that Norms truck pull up around 11:30 the night of his wedding.
Oh.
Serve up exclusively breakfast food. Exactly what we got.
I am actually considering it. I just need a place to get married, and then
How about the
and a
Norms in
date.
Santa Monica?
Yeah, bro.
I have-
Parking lot of a Norms, Jen. You hear that?
I just need the when and the where. I have the who. I have the what.
You said
Which
you had the
who
Who
record?
because
Why?
Which who do you got? you got
Norms.
who's best. You got who's better.
I was going to
Who's
make an owl
next?
joke. 'Cause Norms
You
logo.
got
You can make-
live at Leeds.
Wow,
What do you got?
it
that would have been
is.
so good.
It is.
I'll even go for a Pete Townsend solo record.
You will?
You know, performs the Iron Man or something. What do you got?
I got the closing scene of
The Who by Numbers?
Girl Next Door.
Nice.
Yeah. All right. Well, anyway, thank you to everybody for listening. Thank you, Norms, for cooking us food. And yeah, it was really nice meeting Nate, who fed us all, and had to hear about Matt going to Mammoth for the. So
Good story.
So thank you again, everybody, for listening. We appreciate you guys participating in the Facebook group. We'll see you Wednesday at Patreon. We love you. Goodbye.
Four banger.